Tessa. How do you feel just double-double of the season, first one of the season? Kind of tell us your mindset, how you were feeling throughout the game, and just kind of seeing that, you just did something really big for your team.
Yeah, so obviously it was a very slow start. I wasn't seeing it go in a lot in the first half. And kind of the mentality that switched for me, it was nothing to do with me, actually. It was everything. All the credit goes to my teammates for my mentality, because whenever I was in the locker room, I was really down on myself, and I was in my head, like Coach Poppy says, and I had 4 or 5 different girls come up to me and be like, girl, you're fine. I believe in you. You're Tessa. You can make this shot. And so they completely switched my mentality going in, and just knowing that they had my back, they allowed things to start opening up, and obviously I'm getting great passes, we're having great ball movement, great shooters on the court, so everything just kind of opened up. But it all started with that trust from them, and them just kind of support me and pouring into me, and they led to me having a better second half, and I think the whole team benefited from that as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Hannah, obviously you shot the lights out 4 for 6.
Thank you.
What was your emotions, how were you feeling after the first half, but kind of going into the second half?
Yeah, kind of the same thing, slow start. I think just getting our momentum back going, I think that was really big, and coming together and creating a new energy. I think we definitely did that in the second half, but we need to obviously start that in the first half. But yeah, I think, like I said, my teammates, they lift me up, never let me put my head down, tell me to keep shooting. So credit goes to them. Yeah.
Tessa, how can you continue to keep your mentality for the second half throughout the entire game moving forward, especially coming in for Thursday?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's awesome that my teammates pick me up, but I also need to be strong and be someone they can look to and kind of lead for them as well on the court. I think that seeing the ball go in the second half is definitely going to help with that, because like Coach Poppy said, we're all trying to figure out our style of play and how we're fitting into this team. But definitely just knowing that they support me, but also kind of holding myself accountable and being a strong force for them, someone they can lean on and look to whenever maybe stuff isn't going good for them. I think we can all start to rely on each other and just become stronger and holding our emotions and stuff. But I think that seeing the ball go in the second half, it's going to change how we kind of are feeding off each other, and I think that just using that moving forward is going to be really beneficial for us.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah, Coach Poppy talks a lot about how this team is still learning and growing each other. You started 0 games last year at Chad. You're now a primary starter here at Clemson. Can you talk a little bit about that process and how you've still been able to keep your head down and keep working with good performances like tonight throughout that?
Yeah, for sure. I think me and him would always talk, and it'd always be trust the process, stay with it, keep working. And I think that's just what I kept doing. I trust what he has in store, obviously, as for a team, but also with myself as well. I know his plans for me, and what I just stick to what he has said. And I mean, here we are. Obviously, it's come out better than obviously last year, but I think just continuing to trust his plans. I have a lot of, like I said, trust in him. So I think good things happen when you do that. So, yeah, I would say that.
So then the second half, the team scored 48 points. Things just really clicked. And going into the Florida game, things are going to look a little bit different. So what do you – I'll start with Hannah, and then we'll go to Tessa. But what do you hope the team can take from the second half specifically when the team was really clicking heading into the ACC-SEC Challenge?
Yeah, I think we need to start off how we started our second half, for sure. First, out of the gate, first half. I think that's what gets us going. Obviously, we want to see the ball go in. That's nice. But also, even if it's not, just to continue to get stops on defense, because that's really what we can control. So I think just keeping the same mindset as the second half and going out there to win. I think that's what we need to do. So.
Yeah, and I think going off of what Hannah said, I think this game, if it taught us most, because, you're supposed to – a good team can learn from their wins just as much as they win from their losses. So I think that this game showed us a lot of what we look like when we're individuals out there is not good enough. That's in the first half we completely played individualistic. It didn't look very good. And then the second half we kind of had that switch, and we realized when you rely on each other, trust each other, even when things may not be going in at first, it's going to work out. So I think that moving forward with Florida, we just know that it's all about the team, and whenever you trust and buy into the people on your left and on your right, that's whenever the best basketball is not going to happen. It's not going to happen whenever you're just out there kind of worried about yourself. So I think that kind of that mentality and that little shift is going to be the best thing we can hold moving into the Florida game.
Any more questions? Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
I can get my treatment.